Hey my fellow Pooers, welcome to my channel. This is an official Muay Thai session with Coach Eddie. He has been my Muay Thai coach for the past 2 years, maybe a little bit more. I'm actually not sure anymore, given the pandemic. I'm lost. But this is my home gym that we have in our building, and this is just an outline of what a typical class would look like. Every class is 1 hour, and Eddie is amazing and very patient. God bless most of my coaches, doctors, instructors. They're all extremely patient with me. So usually for every class, we start with a warm-up, and it's usually 3 rounds of jump rope and then a few exercises in between. Jump rope is the bane of my existence. It took me a really long time to learn the steps that you're seeing now. Almost 2 years of consistent 2-minute intervals of jump rope. Gosh, I really hate jump rope, but I was really proud when I learned this step. Very crazy. I'm usually winded by jump rope in the warm-up, but here we go. Here is a exercise to help me loosen up my hips and get the feeling of kicks. I've been working on kicks for the last 2 years. I just can't seem to get it correct or even remotely close to what it's supposed to look like, strong with the hips turning. So here we are working on some technical exercises. And Eddie does this a lot with me since I really want to be precise and pristine in all of my technique. So here I am struggling with this exercise. I think my hips are usually very tight, so this is why I struggle with this. It's just to keep balance and go over the foam roller here. I think this is more for just making sure I have the right feeling in my hips for kicks and rotations. So Eddie is very kind and very patient in showing me to make sure that I am balanced, some key tips on how to balance, and just get this technical drill down correct. So here's a few more seconds of me attempting to do this drill correctly, and then shortly we'll be moving on to the next exercise. Oh goodness, Eddie is making me rotate now. This exercise was not so fun and not so friendly for me since I'm really not that good. You can clearly see I'm much more balanced on one side than the other. It's just not working for me. He has to stop and correct my every single movement as we go. And here he is explaining. This is a very good example and testament of what a great coach he is. He stops and corrects me every step of the way. And this is the type of lesson that I personally really enjoy because I want to master technique. I want to know exactly where I'm going wrong, where I can improve, not just hit and do the exercises. Some coaches, typically want you to just have fun and get into it, but Eddie knows how I like to run classes, and that is usually with precision on technique. So here we are gloved up for drills. We start with very simple combos and also slipping. He is pointing out every time I pull a punch, every time there's a telltale. I really want this to be clean. I was feeling really good last winter. I had just came back from Thailand, or the winter before the pandemic, in 2019. That was when I was feeling really good, and I was getting really sad that I was actually losing a lot of clearness and how clean my technique was when I came back because we had to stop for the pandemic for a while. But as soon as things got a little better, I want to say August or so, was when we called Eddie and asked if he'd be interested in giving private lessons. We started off in the summer, so then we ended up outside for a long time, and then as things progressively got better with the pandemic, we moved indoors since they opened up the gym. So here I am, Eddie is explaining every step of the way and what I'm supposed to be doing with my legs, how my arms are supposed to be, everything's going for the ride, and it's all in your hips. So here we are running more technical drills for kicks. I am just not good with footwork at all. I'm actually really bad at coordinating my upper body and my lower body, but when you divide it into two, I have better concentration. Once again, God bless Eddie for being a phenomenally patient teacher. He runs these drills, and he comes up with new ideas every week for me to figure out how I can let the technique and the feeling of kicks sink in, because he knows how bad I want to get them down. He's showing me here once again the movements in your feet, the transfer of weight in your feet to your, like, each leg. This is really hard for me, whatever it is. Even the switching steps here is really hard for me. But we run these technical drills right now every single week in a different capacity. He's tried many, many different ways to help me build this muscle memory. Now we're adding in some upper body and then getting the movement with kicks. This is really not easy for me at all. Once again, you can see we are really breaking everything down. He knows how important this is to me. And he usually tailors classes to everyone's different styles. Like if you're just looking for cardio, he'll look to get you clean technique, but lots of cardio in between. I very much want to work on technique, so this is why he nitpicks for me. Here I am, practicing really hard. He's really breaking it down. Lean more, forward more, how you switch. He tells me when I'm just using my leg, when it should be in the hips. He's showing me exactly where the rotation's supposed to be. He does it slowly so I can physically see it. He's showing me exact timing of where everything should be. He's showing me where the weight is supposed to be. And we do a lot of repetition to get all of that muscle memory going. I've always had a problem of where to place my hands when kicking. He is showing me that I'm pulling too much, pulling too far. It should be close to the body. It should be small. It should stay close so I'm still protecting my body. I don't have a good feel of this, nor do I actually know when I'm doing it, and I just don't know ever where to put my arms when I'm kicking. Sometimes I get a little frustrated, but we continue and we push forward. I used to be very confident in my developing Muay Thai skills, at least for boxing skills. But since the pandemic, since I haven't been doing too much of it, I've gone backwards, and now I have to refine all of my technique again. I think the key for me usually is practice makes perfect. So the more I do it, the more muscle memory I build, the more clean each technique is. Here, once again, he's trying different types of ways to show me and create muscle memory. I am super awkward here already. I just can't seem to get this rotation. He's really trying everything in his power to help me with this. It's been lots of time coming. I think the day when I get all these kicks down, he's going to scream hallelujah and praise be, because then he would have been the best coach there ever was. You guys seen all my or previous videos of my training sessions with Drew. Drew is a very advanced Muay Thai, player. I don't know if that's the right word, but he is very into it and his techniques are all very good. So he volunteers his time. First and foremost, we're friends, so he volunteers his time to train me, train Vic, and sometimes Lisa. Sometimes I make fun of him because if my technique isn't clean, I'll tell him, I have a big mouth, I will go out and tell the world that I'm training with Crew Drew. But in reality, my real coach is Eddie. So here we go, more drills, more repetition, more breakdown, more adjustments. When will I get the kicks down? Even I wonder sometimes. Considering how many lessons I've taken and how much concentration has gone into kicks, even just one side for that matter, we don't actually always work on the left side, even though we're going to start soon. We usually work on my right side because one thing at a time, Here I am still trying to figure out how my hips work and all this. Oh, look, there's Victor. He is the class after me. I usually go before him. We usually train Sunday mornings at 9:30 and 10:30, 1 hour for each of us. I didn't really want to share. I really don't like sharing. That is my concentrated face. I'm getting frustrated that I can't seem to get it. Signature move, I'm still trying to rest in between because for whatever it is, no matter how much I train, no matter how much cardio I do, no matter how much weightlifting I do, I always get very winded with every single exercise. I promise you, I love working out, except I need lots of rest in between. Here we are working on my other leg, which isn't always the norm because we're always working on my dominant leg. Victor is watching me. He's going to make snide comments as he typically does on the side, which get me upset, but I'm trying to ignore him. He's really observing to make sure that he can out me and do better in class. This is what we do. We're quite competitive with this. I always want to do better than him in sports and activities because he always makes fun of me. I think this is what motivates him. There's him turning around or spinning his hips to loosen them up. That's one of the exercises we do. Similar, I guess, to the beginning where I was reaching my leg over the foam roller. But here I am, really winded already. I can't even, just sneak breaks in between. There's Victor warming up. I'd like to point out he still hasn't had jump rope down yet, and I make fun of him for it. He can't do the steps that I showed you in the beginning. I'm actually very, very proud of that. Hee hee hee. It's crazy. Here I am refining some technique with boxing, jab cross. My cross doesn't seem to be going all the way. I'm not really sure if it's the force, but I'm struggling here already. Very much so. Struggling very hard, losing a lot of momentum. I just want to get this kick right. When will that happen? We are nearing the end of my class now. Eddie usually always tacks on a few more minutes just to give a little bit more for good measure. But thank you for tuning in, everyone. Poo is out now. Bye!